Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the One Meal Channel. I am your host, Nathan, and we are making massive 1.5 pound burritos for consumption when we go on our graveyard shift, tomorrow. If you want to enjoy watching this video where I make these massive burritos as much as I enjoy making the burritos myself, grab yourself your favorite beverage or snack. I am out of chicken broth. I drank all my coffee, so I'll be having a refreshing cup of water to join you in a toast with one another in celebration of another episode. 1, 2, 3. These burritos are new. Burritos are not usually something that I have, but they're not much different than the chicken fried rice that I usually have. Putting that with the chicken and the potatoes and the onions into a big 12-inch tortilla ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. And I look forward to consuming it all in the middle of my shift tomorrow night. I'll be adding a quick little video into the clip into the video of what it's like consuming something like that. But just because we're switching up our meal doesn't mean we're switching up our bacon consumption. A little bit of bacon every day as a treat. We can't be too healthy. Of course, making sure to have our multivitamin, staying on top of our salmon oil, having multiple eggs every day. If we stick to bacon being the worst thing that we eat, hopefully we will still be able to live a long and prosperous life. Okay, moving on. Potatoes. Running out of spatulas. It's because I have a busy day for myself today. I have food to eat, food to make, obviously, video to upload, the kitchen to clean, and more chicken broth to produce. Not to mention dishes to put away. Gosh, it is just a busy weekday, and I couldn't be happier. I got these onions 2 days ago, and they appear to already be sprouting. So let's get these cut up and ready to go before we get too ahead of ourselves. Our meal can never be complete without our cup of rice being cooked up. We waited too much longer to put that rice in. It would not be ready to go by the time the rest of our food is done cooking. So, it is good to get into a routine. Don't let the routine control you. But it's important to develop certain habits that can be completed quickly and turn it into a little competition to see how quickly you can get it done. A couple of videos ago, I said that life is a lot like a video game. Big challenge for me as a teenager was that I just tried too hard to communicate with other people. I thought I always had to say the right thing, thought I always had to do the right thing, take the right interest in people, things like that. Just stressful more than anything. In reality, I was quite good at communicating with people. My dad worked in insurance. He's getting set up for retirement now, but he's always worked in insurance. He always told me I had the gift of the gab. I could talk to just about anybody about just about anything, and yet talking to people was probably the most stressful situation I could probably end up getting myself in. I don't mean public speaking. Everybody says, not everybody, but there was a study that said if people were given the choice to die or have to speak in front of a group of people, they'd choose death. Or at least from a stress level, or a fear perspective. They feared speaking in front of other people more than they feared death itself. Public speaking wasn't the issue for me, although that's also stressful. It was just talking to anybody socially. Talking to anybody at work, talking to anybody at school. It is incredibly difficult for me. And frankly, it's still difficult today. The nerves still pop up, even with videos like this. But you reduce down the communication into its most basic principle. Piece of bacon we lost. Remind yourself that you don't need to say all of the right things. Other people are stressed about communicating as well. And frankly, what evidence is there that the other person is trying to say all of the perfect things as well? Just get down to the basics right. Make sure your manners are in play. Be polite, be respectful. Answer questions directly. Don't take too long when giving answers. Make your point in about 30 seconds. And don't question your own statements. You do that consistently, and you'll be able to build off of that and build a skill set that'll help you in other social situations. But you can break it down in all other ways. Meal, super simple. I've noticed it doesn't really matter to me what I eat. I can eat the same thing over and over and over again without getting tired of it. So as long as I have a meal that covers enough nutritional value for me to get by throughout the day, then great. Find a meal that's not too overwhelmingly unhealthy for me. Chicken and rice seems like a good staple of people that are trying to lift weights and put on muscle. It can't be harmful for me to eat that same way, even though I'm not trying to gain weight and put on muscle. If you want to start your day out right, make your bed every morning. Most people have that down already, but they don't know why they do it. It's just a habit that they had when they were a kid, and they kept doing it into adulthood. You start your day making your bed so that you can start every day out with a victory. You start every day out by successfully completing a task. When I have a 7 o'clock in the morning call with a client, of course my body's going to tell me I got to say all of the right things and I got to do everything perfectly, otherwise I'm not going to make the money that I need to get by this month. But as long as I wake up with enough time in order to make my bed, my brain subconsciously will tell me that I started the day out with a victory. Now, I cheat. My bed is small and I only have 2 sheets, so I don't have a whole bunch of pillows and a whole bunch of layers and a bunch of other stuff I have to worry about. So there you go, there's your morning routine. Maybe you want to shower in the morning and brush your teeth in the morning. Maybe you prioritize that more in the evening. Maybe you have both. You take a look at the things that you do every day and just make them simple. You gotta eat. If you want to eat healthy, when you're not made of money, meaning you can't just DoorDash everything, you probably got to cook that food. You're going to wake up, you're going to go to sleep. Whatever you do at your job, you're probably going to do that every day. You got to clean to some degree all the things that you do. You're going to have some form of entertainment, whether that's movies or TV. Reading's probably better for you, but whether that's games. If you got a family, especially young kids, that kid is going to be your priority. Simplify that process down to its most basic form. And then build every other aspect of your life around it. How can you keep up those habits if you're traveling? How do you keep up those habits if you have a break in your routine? For example, I have those 2 graveyard shifts. How am I going to continue to cook the same meal every single day if it cuts into the amount of sleep that I get? The answer that we have come up with is to simply meal prep the same meal into a burrito instead of having it in a massive bowl. And this week is going to be the first week that we test out how successful we are. And that's the final element of simplifying your schedule, is that you have to be constantly testing things. You have to act quickly so that you can identify whether what you're doing is good or not, useful. And when you can identify what's useful quickly, you can make adjustments and change to make it more useful or just eliminate it entirely because it wasn't useful. That's probably what I struggle with the most, is that oftentimes I take too long to plan, and then by the time I implement, I realize that the plan needs to be scrapped entirely and start over. And it's really demoralizing when you spent about a week trying to come up with a plan, only for the first day you implement it, it goes horribly. There's some good books that can be read to help break that habit and develop good, positive habits. I think the author's name is Mel Robbins. I think her book is 3-2-1. Or the 5-second rule. That's what it is, the 5-second rule. Take my roommate, for example. He has a lot of work to do today, and he's coming up with a unique solution that allows him to stay hydrated and whatever the word is when you say sustained with food, and also getting all of his work done.
Are you motivational speaking today?
Today is motivational, Nathan.
Got it.
Yeah, and let's be frank. I'm motivational, Nathan, today because I need to make 3 videos today. I'm going to be spending a lot more time in the kitchen than I'm used to. But it's the culmination of all those little micro habits that's going to allow me to do all these things in a straightforward process. Like, for example, take this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel's at 300 subscribers. It could be at more if I did things a little bit different, if I invested some more time into it. But this isn't the first time that I've done YouTube. I've been trying to make YouTube videos ever since I was like 16 years old. I remember when YouTube first came out. I think it came out right around the 2008 financial collapse. I remember my mom was babysitting babysitting some kids that were around my age, and so she brought me over to hang out with them. They were showing me this new thing called YouTube. Literally came out probably just a few months. Been out. I found it really interesting, and I just started making YouTube videos a couple of years after that. As soon as I got the hang of it, and I just wasn't good at it. I used it for school projects. I used it for personal projects, and nothing really clicked with me. This is the most subscribers that I've ever had on a YouTube channel. And frankly, I've put the least amount of effort into this channel than I have on any of my other channels. And when I say that, I mean, I'm not really worried about saying the right thing. I'm not worried about all of my uploads being perfect. I'm not spending a whole lot of time analyzing all the different ideas that I need to come up with. I only made one rule for myself on this channel, and it said I had to upload a video every single day. And even that one rule I've broken. You know, those of you who have been around since like the first 10 uploads, and some of you have been around since the very beginning, I mean, you know, I've missed probably a week's worth of uploads in the last 4 months. Probably missed 7 days worth, maybe even more than that. But my rule was I have to upload every single day. Content doesn't really matter. Format just needs to stay the same. Upload every single day. Making that one rule for myself in structuring my day and my weeks and my months, my meals, my goals around that has been extremely helpful. It's allowed me to build up a subscriber base of about 300 people, and we're still on track to hit YouTube Partner by the end of the year. Just barely. Just barely. It's going to be close. It's very obvious that I need to do different things, like make different types of videos. Very obvious that I need to adjust my format and do more than just make the same meals every single day in order to continue to grow the channel. It's obvious I need to do something different with my titles. I also have to be honest with myself that I'm not in a position, like time-wise or financially, to make a lot of big changes, if that makes sense, and then be consistent with them afterwards. But one thing is for sure that cannot be changed, is that I need to continue to upload daily. So I look at, like I watch YouTube myself, and I follow like all the big people, the commentary channels and things like that. And they'll do reviews of other channels that, you know, got really big and then they fell off. And then they look at their channel history and they're getting millions of views, and now they're only getting like 30,000 views. But I look at that and I go, those guys are still uploading every single day. And I don't mean the big commentary channels. I mean like the channels that the big commentary people are like mocking, right? Even the channels that made mistakes, where like obviously no one's gonna watch them anymore because they showed that they were a bad person. I look at that and I go, well, even this person who's objectively like did a horrible thing is uploading every single day, and their channel is getting more views than probably like 90% of all people that upload on YouTube. So does that mean that the things that they did weren't so bad? No, they still did horrible things. But the daily uploads are probably the most important element of all of it. So we'll continue uploading daily until we can't anymore. I've noticed my content has kind of fallen into the vlog category of YouTube. Like my videos are getting recommended next to people that do vlogging. It's kind of difficult to be a vlogger when you don't leave your house too often, other than to go to the grocery store and do your graveyard job. And most of the things that I just do on a day-to-day basis is I work from 8 to 5, I cook and clean from 5 to 7, and then, I don't know, like I'll read or I'll play a video game or, you know, call my friends and family. And that's more or less it. Obviously, I do more in my life than that. But that's about all that I'd be willing to share with the world. So making the same food every single day and speaking to you guys can get kind of repetitive. But I think a lot of you, since COVID, we've gone into a very digital age, where a lot of us aren't really leaving our house anymore. So I'll never be a real friend to any of you guys because I'm just a person on the internet. But I know a few of you are actually waiting for that video upload to come out so that you can have someone on in the background while you're on your computer. And I get that because I do that. I do that as well when I'm in my room doing whatever I do. Yeah, you are relying on that video upload coming out. That's why I kick myself when I miss a day, because I'm like, there are people out there that are just looking for a friend. And I get that. Yeah, I'm lucky that I have a roommate, Noah, so that we can chat with each other whenever we want. But even if I didn't, even though we have a roommate, and even if I didn't, we spend a lot of time alone. And we don't feel lonely, if that makes sense. I don't think I'm a lonely person. But we do spend a lot of time alone. Yeah, if Noah and I didn't live together, there would be long stretches where we would go all day without any sort of in-person contact with somebody else. And if we're in that position, we're having that experience, then I know for sure that many other people are as well. And for that reason, I make sure that my daily habits, no matter how small they are, stay consistent so that I can keep making these videos for people to enjoy. All right, well, I do have some good news though. Fishing season where I live opens up in about 2 weeks. Actually, fishing's already open, but it's all catch and release. Fishing opens up in about 2 weeks. And I would love to go out over the weekend, film a little bit of outdoor IRL content fishing, show you our catches. That is hot. Bring it home and cook some up for you, because I dearly miss the trout that we cooked up for ourselves. And to think about that, I mean, it's only April. April just started. And last year, we cooked up trout on Christmas Day. That trout had been frozen for, about 6 months and came out and it was still extremely delicious. Still tasted fresh, still tasted like something that was better than what you could get at a store. Even better than what you could get at some restaurants. So I would love to go out, get another fishing tag, and just fish it up. So this looks massive. Looks like I might have overdone it just a little bit. It's extremely hot. I'm just hurting my hands just putting it around. Let's see what we can do here. So we're gonna roll this up all the way over here. Yep. Take the end pieces. Oh, that looks good. Like that. Nice. Pull this back. Tuck that in. Roll it over onto itself. Oh my god, my hands are burning. Shoot. And look, we get a little breakage here on the side, but it looks like it's just minor enough and everything is just hot enough that we're going to be fine leaving it as is. I think we are. We're going to be fine leaving it as is. And that hurts. That hurts a lot. So I pulled a Nathan and put this away as if we weren't going to need another one. I think we're halfway through our tortillas now, assuming we don't destroy this tortilla on the way out. We're halfway through our tortillas. We have 6 left. After today, we will have 4 of these tortillas, or these burritos rather, heated up in total. Is going to be the perfect amount for our graveyard shift. So take this, roll it over onto itself. Boom, baby. 1 burrito in parchment paper. And I would love to take this tortilla and heat it up on a stove or something, but if we leave it cold, it'll rip. And I don't think we have a stovetop large enough to cook this, warm it up. So, making a little bit of a mess. It's okay. We'll endure. This looks significantly smaller than what we put together in the last burrito. We're trying to make these burritos as even as possible. Let's see what we can do. Oof, don't rip the bottom. Don't rip the bottom, baby. Okay, let's go here. Roll it up and over. Like that, okay. wrap this in on itself. Yeah, and if you've ever made burritos before, you know in this tucking process, you gotta like overdo the tuck so that the end pieces come in at a 90-degree angle. Perfect, and that's super hot. Oh my God. I had another father figure in my life, not my real dad, but another father figure in my life that worked in the outdoors pretty consistently. He taught me my outdoor etiquette, and he said, you need to get yourself asbestos hands so that you can touch any hot item out there and not wince. Yeah, he had hands like a Shaolin monk. So, perfect. 2 massive burritos. Rest this here, fill it with water. This plate is cleaner than most things in this kitchen, but we'll leave it. And then how much parchment paper do we have left? Maybe enough for 1 more burrito, so we'll keep it just in case. My roommate is not going to be doing any cooking in the kitchen. He usually cooks right after me. So he's not going to be doing any cooking, which means I get to clean this thing. And then after I clean, I get to make my world-famous chicken broth, which is another habit I've developed. So, before we wrap up, let us do the honors of measuring our said burritos. So our first burrito comes out to 1.55 pounds, 1.56 if we're rounding up. Our second burrito comes out to, I thought this one was a little bit smaller, and it was 1.44 pounds. So again, each one of our burritos has come out to around 1.5 pounds, but they're within 1/10 of a pound of one another. So that's not bad, especially on our first 2 batches of burritos. But regardless, we're going to try to get those numbers more closely aligned with one another. So let's open up our secret refrigerator drawer. Pop this over here. And oh my gosh, these burritos are so big, there's actually not enough space. I thought I would have space to keep one right there. It's clearly not. Oh my goodness. Okay. Put a burrito right there. Gosh, this is my space, this is the roommate space. I'm absolutely taking up his space right now. It's about 6 pounds worth of burrito in our refrigerator right now. Not bad. But because of that, when work ends tomorrow, instead of coming out here and making food for myself, losing a couple of hours of sleep, and then waking up tired for the graveyard shift, I'll be able to go right to sleep and then wake up and start my next shift. But don't worry, there will be a video for you tomorrow. That's why I'm going to be cleaning the kitchen and making my chicken broth, so you guys can follow along with that over the next couple of days. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.